From the chaotic LEGO Porsche gears to non-constructible Galador, here are the 14 biggest LEGO mistakes that will send you into sus mode.
Wait a minute!
Starting from the LEGO Porsche 911 GT3 RS that was released in 2016, disappointed many Porsche enthusiasts with the unsequential gears. Instead of hiring Richard Petty, a legendary mechanic, to fix the gears, LEGO suggested that it was done intentionally. The minds behind this LEGO development thought that let's arrange the gears in a way that'll make driving the car a breeze, but as it turned out to annoy LEGO owners. With too many gears engaged simultaneously, achieving smooth operation while accommodating all those tolerances proved to be quite challenging. LEGO even came up with some solutions to alter the functioning by switching the build steps 267 and 269 to make the gears run sequentially. Next on the list is the wild ride with a LEGO Technic Motor Excavator set released in August. But surprise, surprise, it decided to hit the snooze button and got delayed until September. Why, you ask? It was due to the digging arm of the excavator being too weak to dig in. The problem? Well, it turns out the poor digging arm was about as sturdy as a house of cards in a windstorm. It had this strained linear actuator that just couldn't bear the weight of the massive digging arm, especially when compared to the rest of the gear wheels. If you try to dig in with this LEGO excavator, it's like expecting a rubber chicken to lay golden eggs. In the later sets released by LEGO, there were new kits that were added to make this arm strong. These kits beefed up that once flimsy arm with not one, not two, but 4 actuators and 3 bonus LEGO pieces. Then comes the 2009 version of the LEGO Power Functions IR Speed Remote. The controller played big until there came some complaints about the overheating of the device. The remote controller came with multiple features and their respective buttons. It was a must-have for all the game enthusiasts out there. This remote was the talk of the town, the superstar of controllers, but alas, it had a tiny issue. The remote seemed to audition for LEGO firefighters as it heated up like a Dagobah summer. Why, you ask? Well, it turns out this remote had a fiery temper, and by that, we mean it got overheating complaints. A month after the complaints, an improved set was released. We can only imagine that the new version came with a tiny fire extinguisher just in case. Back in the day, the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar strutted onto the scene with all its 292 minifigures and enough finely crafted details to make any Jedi Master proud. It was practically a masterpiece in its own right. But yeah, it wouldn't be wrong to say that 2015 and 2016 were the era LEGO left some mistakes in the production and packaging. I don't know why. We're not quite sure what was brewing in the LEGO factory. Maybe the workers were on a coffee break, or the Force was playing tricks. Well, coming back to the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar set, the description on the side of the LEGO box included the exclusive Darth Vader minifigure. Excitement levels skyrocketed, but when they opened the box, they were left disappointed. There was no Darth Vader minifigure inside the box. Oh, LEGO, you know how to play with the sentiments. Also, there was a mishap in the 2015 LEGO Ant-Man set involving Ant-Man's legs. The set was supposed to be released on June 1st, 2015, but due to an error in the legs, it got delayed to the last days of July. Early reviews couldn't resist poking fun at the fact that these legs tended to throw a little hissy fit when anyone dared apply too much pressure from above. It was almost as if they had a "No Heavy Objects Allowed" sign on them. But LEGO bestowed the tiny hero with 2 extra pieces for each leg, a little Technic axle, and a dashing cone. Next up, we have a LEGO NXT Intelligent Brick that was introduced in the sets in 2006. Here's the plot twist that's as baffling as a Rubik's Cube. From its debut until 2011, this trusty NXT brick flew under the radar, causing no complaints. In 2011, most of these NFT displays that came with sets 8527, 9797, and 9841 were noticed to flicker. Okay, it wasn't a major bug, but the LEGO ambassador and all their brick wisdom decided to be Santa Claus and told the owners to get these NXTs replaced. How kind of them, right? LEGO's ambassador also mentioned that before reaching out to LEGO customer support, it was advisable to commence the diagnostic process by inspecting the NXT's battery status. This was essential since analogous malfunctions often manifest when the battery's energy reserves dwindle. This 2015 WALL-E LEGO set was pretty good, except when it came to its head. Oh, LEGO, they didn't make the WALL-E capable enough to bear the weight of his head. The LEGO had no bad intention behind it. They must have tried to make the head look realistic by adding mobility to it. But it turned out that the head didn't care. It moved way too freely. Well, LEGO customer service on Reddit took responsibility for it and addressed the manufacturing mistake. The next LEGO WALL-E sets were then released after fixing that very issue. We now have a set in the LEGO world that's not exactly child's play. As we all know, LEGO is mainly for kids, which is why most of its builds are kid-friendly. Now, these aren't your run-of-the-mill LEGO sets because they're so authentic looking that even a grown-up might do a double take. But when it comes to LEGO guns, LEGO made some realistic looking guns that cost a lot. Talking about these guns that LEGO apparently didn't make for kids, as their parents will never allow them to keep those. Take, for example, this M1 Grand. It's not just any gun, it's a replica of the legendary firearm used by the American Army during the wartime adventures of 1936, and this LEGO gun is the exact copy of that gun used by the American Army. This gun has all the features that make it look real. So while LEGO's all about fun and imagination, these realistic guns might make you wonder if you've stumbled into a mini military armory instead of a toy store. The list is not ending soon, as we want you to have a moment of silence for LEGO jumpers and the mastermind behind it. These jumpers were supposed to help LEGO minifigures fly, but they turned out to damage most of them. Picture this. You've got your delicate, finely crafted minifigure all suited up, ready to take a leap of faith. They take the plunge, and what happens? Snap, crackle, pop. Whoops. One or both of their legs decide to go on an adventure of their own. But the drama doesn't end there. Removing these super jumpers from the minifigures is another long story. People have uploaded videos on how to remove them because if you try to separate them, they will cause your minifigure to suffer more. So here's a friendly tip from the LEGO universe. Tread carefully when dealing with these mischievous jumpers unless you want your minifigures to get wasted. Other than manufacturing mishaps, LEGO has dipped its toes into the misprinted world too. Well, there's no need to ask if you know what Titanic is. Thanks to that epic movie, even fish in the deepest oceans know that they did our boy Jack wrong. LEGO built its wonderful version of Titanic with some really fine finishing, but what if I tell you it totally changed the name of this OG ship? Yep, you heard it right. In one of their Titanic sets, they went all out and named it Titanic. Hilarious. I mean, how come the LEGO forgot to notice it before selling? Buying the biggest LEGO set wasn't exactly a walk in the park to begin with, and now you could end up with a Titanic. Imagine the disappointment. It's like ordering a 5-star meal and getting a side of alphabet soup instead. Wouldn't it make you sad? It definitely would. Now, how can we ignore the misprinted Stormtroopers from the famous Star Wars sets? Most of the minifigures in the Star Wars sets are Stormtroopers. I mean, let's face it, where LEGO built thousands of these minifigures, it is okay if some of them got their eyes at the wrong angle. Just look at the Stormtrooper minifigure. It's like it's sporting a 5-head instead of a 4-head. His eyes are down, as some people's humor in the comments section. Okay, now don't come running trying to prove you all are Kevin Hart. Getting back to the topic. LEGO seems to have sprinkled its misprint magic across a bunch of these Stormtroopers. Maybe they're secretly trying to infiltrate the Empire with their own quirky army. I don't know what has gotten into them. Picture this, a world where interchangeable limbs are all the rage and the term standard minifigure is thrown out the window. Moving on to the LEGO Galador set 8313, which was the part of the Galador theme. While this theme had a relatively short lifespan and faced criticism from both fans and collectors, the specific set 8313 Gorm Deluxe had some notable issues. In Galador's peculiar universe, the art of construction was almost ignored as it only consisted of mixing these figures. In the set, you weren't building castles, spaceships, or cities. No, you were essentially playing cosmic mix and match with your figures. It was all about swapping the arms, legs, and heads between these minifigures. We now have the LEGO Star Wars UCS Millennium Falcon set. You see, in the early days of this iconic set's existence, there was a minor hiccup. Some builders discovered that the radar dish assembly wasn't exactly stability personified. Suppose by any chance you are in the middle of an epic space battle and you are all set to save the galaxy, but then out of nowhere your radar dish decides to leave your side. The question here is, can you cry in space? No, you can't, just like this person who tried. It was like the Millennium Falcon had a rebellious teenager who couldn't stay put. Instead of tracking Imperial ships, you were more likely to hear, "Hey, where did that radar dish run off to this time?" Ending with a hearty chuckle for animal lovers. Here is a treat for the animal lovers, although I must apologize in advance if it doesn't quite hit the mark to be a real treat. If you love to sleep in the day and work in the night, you must know whom I am talking about. Yes, you guessed right, I am talking about a LEGO owl. Now, when you think of an owl, you picture those big, round, and oh-so-piercing eyes. Just like this, right? If you have seen an owl, even if in the cartoons, you must know where his eyes are. But I guess LEGO wanted to create a rare one with misaligned eyes. Compared to the owl on the right, it looks awful. But here's the twist. These misprinted LEGO owls, just like My Life's Chaos, might be worth their weight in gold to collectors. They're like the rare gems in the LEGO universe worth the money. LEGO's unintentional mishaps are like never-ending sitcoms. Who knows, next time they might miss someone's head. Until then, stack bricks and LEGO out.